So in this video, we are going to talk about a specific formula that we're going to be using for volume. And that formula is called V equals B times H. Now, you might notice that the V and the B are capitalized, but the H is not. And so we're going to talk about what that means for the volume of prisms and cylinders as we go forward. So let's take a look at the formula and break it down. The capital V stands for volume. The capital, and I'm going to skip the capital B for a minute. Actually, let me go to the capital B. The capital B stands for the area of the base. And I'm going to show you what that means and why it's capital. And then the H, which is lowercase, just stands for the height of the prism or the cylinder. Now, the reason why the B is capitalized is because it doesn't just stand for base. It stands for the area of the base of that shape. So let's take a look at the first shape. So here we have the volume of a rectangular prism, okay? So what is the base of the figure? Well, the base of the figure is right here, and that is a rectangle. Now, what is the formula for the area of the base? Well, if we were just calculating the area of a rectangle, we would just do base times height, okay? So when we calculate the volume for a rectangular prism, we use V equals capital B times H, where the B stands for base times height of that base. So let's take a look at this example here. Here we have a rectangular prism. So volume equals the area of the base would be 15 feet times 3 feet, and then the height of the prism stands for the height from one base to the other base. So that's going to be the height right here. And in this case, that's 3. Solve your parentheses first. 15 times 3 is 45, and then 45 times 3 is 135 feet cubed. Now, volume is always cubed, and the most basic reason why is because this measurement here was feet, this measurement here was feet, and this measurement here was feet. So if you did feet times feet times feet, you would get feet to the third power. All right, let's take a look at the triangular prism. So here we have a triangular prism. What is the base of this figure? Well, the base of this figure is going to be the triangle. Now, what's the formula for the area of that base? Well, for calculating the formula for area of a triangle, we're going to use base times height times 0.5. So let's take a look at how that applies to the formula. So again, we have V equals big B times H, which breaks down to volume equals base times height times 0.5 of that triangle times the height of the prism. Let's use an example here. Here we have a triangular prism. So for the big B, this is the big B right here, I have 4 times 6 times 0.5. 4 was the height of the triangle and 6 was the base of the triangle. And then we're going to cut it in half because it's half of a rectangle. Now the 9 comes from the height of the prism, and you calculate the height of the prism because here you have one triangle, here you have the other triangle base, and the height is from one base to the other, and so that's going to be 9. So if you simplify this parentheses right here, 4 times 6 is 24, 24 times 0.5 is 12, and then 12 times 9 is 108 feet cubed. Now again, this is cubed because the 4 is feet, the 6 is feet. The 0.5 is just simply part of the formula, so that's not feet, but the 9 is also feet. So you have feet times feet times feet, which is feet to the third power. Another shape we're going to work with is the cylinder. So the base of this cylinder is going to be this circle right here. So we have a circle. And then what's the formula for the area of a circle? Well, we know that it's pi r squared. So if you can take a guess already, what we're going to do for that big B is pi r squared. So let's take a look. So volume equals big B times H. So volume equals pi r squared for the big B because that's the area of the base times the height of the prism. So if we look at this example right here, we have a cylinder and it has a radius of 8. So we have pi 3.14 times 8 squared. This right here is the big B. Then we have the height of the cylinder, and that goes from one circular base to the other circular base. So this is the height of the cylinder, and that's going to be 15. When you simplify the inside, you're going to end up with 200.96 times 15, which is going to give you 3,014 and 4/10 centimeters cubed. Now again, it's cubed because the 3.14 is not feet, but we have 8 to the second power, which is feet and feet. And then we have 15, which is also, or sorry, it's not feet, it's centimeters. So we have centimeters and centimeters, and then this is also centimeters. So centimeters times centimeters times centimeters is going to be centimeters to the third power. Now, this formula will work for any prism or any cylinder. It does not work for cones. It does not work for spheres. It does not work for pyramids. It just works for any shape that has the name prism at the end of it. And there's tons of them. These are just a couple of examples here. And it also works for cylinders. All right, that's the end of this short lesson. And like I said, we're going to do a lot more practice with this as we get into volume.